All right, sorry about that. A few technical difficulties with the chat, but yeah, I mean, you know, we said this the day after the trade deadline, or the day of the trade deadline, that the Hornets have made trades at or before the trade deadline before in Mitch's tenure, contrary to popular belief. But these might be the most impactful trades they've made, besides Montrezl Harrell and Isaiah Thomas. But those weren't really trades for the future.
Right.
Those are trades for now. I think the trades that they made during the trade deadline, from what we saw last night, I think we might have solved a few of the Hornets' problems that we foresaw for the next season and the season after that. Now, those of you now that didn't watch the game last night, but if you're a Hornets fan, you definitely watched the game. We beat the Memphis Grizzlies at home in the first game since the trade deadline, in which we got all of our newly acquired players. They did play one game against the Bucks, but the new players hadn't come in. The Hornets were shorthanded. They only had 10 guys suit up, and they got routed by the Bucks. But against the Memphis Grizzlies, and yes, I know, the Memphis Grizzlies are sorry as hell. They're the only team in the NBA with more games missed due to injury than the Charlotte Hornets. They were missing 2 of their 3 best players.
No, don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Nope. Because when the Hornets miss 2 or 3 of their best players all damn season, and the season before that, oh no, it's no excuses, and Mitch Kupchak sucks, and Clifford can't coach, and all this other craziness. Don't give me context now, Kaiser. I don't know. I don't want to hear context now.
I'm just saying, this is what some of the fans are saying. Oh, we only beat the Memphis Grizzlies. And the thing is, it wasn't even easy. Like, it kind of came down to like the last 2 minutes or so, and the Hornets had to hit some big shots in order to prevent them getting a win. Yes, and I agree. A win is a win. The point I want to make is that we should be happy about that win, despite what people think, because that was clearly a different Charlotte Hornets team out there on the court than we had seen all season.
And it's pretty much that simple, man. Like, you know, Brandon Lucas is saying we look better on defense, offense, and our bench look like a legit NBA caliber subs. That's what we're happy about. How come it can't be that simple? All season, we have had to endure JT Thor and Nathan Mensah and Ish Smith, who is on the couch taking a nap right now. We have had to endure a NBA bench that is probably not even an NBA bench. There are guys. Listen, man, Adrian Wojnarowski put out a tweet a couple of days ago. He said, Coach Clifford, relative to what's going on, has done a great job. His words, not mine. Has done a great job considering that the guys he has to give minutes to probably are not even going to be in the league next year. Man, look, man, I love Leaky Black's effort, not an NBA guy. I love Nathan Mensah's effort, not an NBA guy. Look, man, I'm sorry to say this about our boy, Bryce McGowan. You know we love us some Bryce McGowan. He don't need to be getting 20-plus minutes any night. You understand what I'm saying? This is what Cliff and the fans have had to endure all season. And last night was the polar opposite. We saw adults on the floor, and we are just simply happy about it, man. That's it.
Yeah, like last night felt like now you know I have they call me Typhoeus in the Hornets group, because I always say if the Hornets start off a game well, they're gonna lose.
It's gonna not end well, basically.
It's not gonna end well.
Yep.
But last night was the first time maybe all season that I did not feel that way.
Same.
I felt like, now at the beginning of the game, it was some Keystone Cops level of basketball. It was some YMCA shit out there. Right?
It was bad. But
you
at the same time, you should have expected it, right?
Right. Like you could tell they weren't used to playing together. These are the first time these rotations ever hit the floor. It was a lot of just bullshit, right? But
yeah,
the third quarter was big. And the reason being is that that's the quarter the Hornets always fall apart in every game is the third quarter. But it seems like that's when it all clicked for them. Like they were like, oh yeah, we're a bunch of NBA professionals, and they played like an NBA team. Now they didn't win the third quarter. It was essentially they tied 27-27, but they maintained, which is enough, to win the game. Normally they would have gotten blown out by the third quarter. That was such a huge that was the difference in the game to me.
I think we'll take being tied or tying in the third quarter rather than being beat by 20 in the third quarter, because that's what the trend has been the last 10 games. Is that third and fourth quarter comes and we fall apart, man. But one thing that I wanted to discuss, man, that was big for me last night. I want to read these stats to you, and they may not seem like a big deal. Brandon Miller was 7 for 9. You may say, hey, man, I want Brandon Miller to take more shots, but I'm going to get to that in a second. Brandon Miller was 7 for 9. Miles Bridges was 11 for 13. You know why I'm telling you all this? Because for once, in these past 10 games, you had Miles Bridges and Brandon Miller having to score 30 just to be in the damn game.
Right, yep.
Just to be in the game. Now you got these two not even having to take 15 shots to win a game by 9 points. You understand? And the point I'm making is that these new guys have taken pressure off of Miles Bridges and off of Brandon Miller. So they're not forcing any shots anymore. Wow. What a difference a real point guard makes. Wow. What a difference.
We have solved the backup point guard issue, essentially. Now we have...
to me, it's kind of a logjam now.
Yeah, exactly. Trey Mann played well, but let's just talk about Vasily Micic. Yeah, is that how you pronounce his name? I don't know. I'm gonna get it right.
So. I'll probably
his jersey's already sold out at the team store, right? Now this guy was the EuroLeague MVP, and he's a 30-year-old rookie, but that's an NBA rookie. He was drafted in the same draft as Noah Vonleh, right? Which is
go figure that, man.
Right. We were still the Charlotte Bobcats when Micic was drafted to the NBA. He just chose to stay in the EuroLeague and ball out there. I can see why he was the EuroLeague MVP. And boy, talk about if he even plays half this good every night, talk about a steal. I mean, I know he's 30 years old, but we essentially get a seasoned pro. He may not be an NBA vet, but it's clear, from his play,
he knows how to play the game, man.
Right. He knows how to play the game at a pro level. And I don't see I'm not going to say there's not going to be a drop-off between LaMelo Ball. Obviously, he's not LaMelo Ball. But it's going to be so refreshing to know that our backup point guard can come in and actually run the offense.
It's going to me, on the positive side, and granted LaMelo can stay healthy for once, it's going to be akin to Kemba Walker and Jeremy Lin, hopefully. Hopefully that's what we see. You know how, the Hornets didn't really miss a beat when Jeremy Lin used to come in the games? He used to hold down the offense. Hopefully this is the same thing going forward, man. And like you said, this is a 30-year-old guy, played professionally, even though it wasn't in the NBA. He's played professional basketball for years. He knows how to play the game, man. We're talking about a guy 18 points and 9 assists in 29 minutes in 26 minutes off the bench. Tell me when Ish Smith came anywhere close to having that this season.
Yeah, that's in some of the passes he were making, NBA level court vision and IQ. Right. I mean, he knew where. That's amazing considering this is his first game as a Charlotte Hornet. They might not even have a practice together. Maybe earlier in the day.
Speaking of that, Kaza, I don't know what it was, man. But, and I know we're talking about Milicic, but even Trey Mann and Milicic had this weird chemistry with Nick Richards, right? Like when Milicic and Mann were running the pick and roll with Nick Richards, I've never seen Nick Richards. It's just like this weird chemistry that they already have.
He actually was able to catch the ball.
He was actually able to catch the ball and finish like we have been dying for 3 years with this dude, man.
Amazing. Let me talk about Nick Richards real quick. Now, he had a solid game. I need more than 13-7 from Nick Richards against the Memphis Grizzlies. He got manhandled by Jackson Jr. I mean, it was like Jackson had it in his brain. Nick Richards can't guard me.
Well, he can't guard him. That's
yeah. But it's like, bro, you got to do something. So, and this is a really crazy stat from last night. All the bench players were plus in the plus minus box plus minus. Everyone. Grant Williams, who we'll talk about in a minute, was plus 19. Davis Bertans was plus 10. Mitchell was plus 14. In fact, everyone on the game was a plus except for Trey Mann and Nick Richards, which the fact that you get these rotations, they were able to play so well defensively as well, was a big thing to me. The Hornets had some key stops late with these guys, who just got to the team. Like I said, I don't even know, did they have a practice together or not? So,
Kaza, listen, man, we're sitting here talking about key stops with the Hornets, who normally can't get 3 stops in a row in any damn scenario. And now we're getting key stops in the fourth quarter. Look, man, I don't give a damn if this was against South Meck High School last night. You understand?
Right,
we're seeing things we have not seen against any team all season. Now, against anybody.
Now, here's the thing, though. How much of this are we going to carry into next season? Mm-hmm. Because this season is a wash. Although we called it, the Hornets are going to win some games. They look better. They're going to win some games. They're probably going to end up winning like 20 games. They're going to go on a little run. Everyone's going to be excited. But the next season will come.
Yeah.
Now, Michigan is under contract. He will be here. Grant Williams is under contract. He will probably stick. I think he'll stick around regardless of whether he wants to or not. He's on a 3-year deal.
And not to jump way ahead, but they better extend Grant Williams, man. I'm gonna tell you why in a second, but go ahead, bro.
Yeah. So it's like if we can at least, Seth Curry is a question mark because he's a free agent. Mm-hmm. But I think with just Trey Mann, Michigan, and Williams, hell, even Davis Bertans, who. How many times had that guy just killed us playing against us
in the past? Right.
just murdering us.
Look like damn Larry Bird against us.
Right. Now he comes here and he's playing well. It's like, I don't really want to. I want to see what this team can do with those role players, and we get LaMelo Ball back and hopefully a healthy Mark Williams.
And a high draft pick. And the high draft pick.
I feel like we should trade that draft pick.
But that's probably not going to happen.
No, because the owners, right? The owners do everything. Look.
All right, let me stop laughing, man.
Right? That's what the fans the owners. The owners traded these guys who the Hornets have been trying to trade for 2 years. The owners came in, and that was the difference. That was the difference.
Magic wands, Kyle.
It had nothing to do with Gordon Hayward's expiring contract. That had nothing to do with it.
That had nothing to do with Miami Heat finally pulling the trigger on the deal that we've been trying to make for years. But
the fact that P.J. Washington had already been signed to a lowball contract that had nothing to do with it.
Or the fact that P.J. Washington was already looking to sign with the Mavericks before the season started anyway.
No, none of that matters. The only thing that matters is that Rick Schnall took a picture with a fan.
Now he cares. Anywho, man.
I bet he didn't take no pictures with no fans last week. How many? He didn't take none last week.
Guys, stop making me laugh so I can talk about Grant Williams real quick, man.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Grant Williams, by the way. Grant Williams, 15 points in 32 minutes. 3 for 6 from 3, 5 for 11 from the field. Also had 8 rebounds. This man was playing like he was back at Providence Day.
Let me tell you something. Regardless of those stats you just spoke, I saw something so beautiful last night, man. I almost shed a tear last night, man. Jaren Jackson was trying to play bully ball against Grant Williams, and Grant Williams didn't budge. You hear me?
Yeah.
There were 2 plays in a row where Jaren Jackson was trying to score on Grant Williams, and he missed both shots. Now, to a lot of fans, that may not be a big deal. They're like, okay, whatever. He missed 2 straight shots. What are you talking about, Jamal? I have not seen defense like that from one player on this team, and God knows how long, bro. Like, not yesterday, but the last time we recorded a few days ago, I told you, man, Grant Williams is exactly the type of guy that the Hornets need. Man, that toughness, that IQ, that high basketball IQ, and a dude that's not trying to do too much. You understand what I'm saying? He is a perfect fit with what this team needs right now, man. I'm very excited to have that young man here, bro. I really am.
A lot of people forget that Grant Williams was the first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
He was the 22nd draft pick. He's not a slouch, and every time he played the Hornets in the past, he's killed
us too. Yep.
So I'm very glad to see him in a Hornets uniform, balling out. A great homecoming for him and Steph Curry. Now, Steph Curry only played 20 minutes, which was kind of surprising, actually. But I think that had a lot to do with the fact that the other guards are all playing so well. Steph Curry only took, 3 shots, but he hit a big one. His first 3 as a Charlotte Hornet was a big shot. The Hornets needed it late. It was a busted play. He happened to hustle to get the offensive rebound and hit a big 3, and it blew the roof off of the Spectrum Center. And Dell was very silent because I think he was shedding a tear.
Probably, yeah.
Right? He didn't say anything. Eric Collins got excited, but Dell was.
But Kaz, like you said in a previous show, man, Dell's professional, man. He's gonna try to keep it professional. He don't want to show too much, but I'm sure he cried in the car. I'm sure.
Oh, I know he did. Yeah, he did. He certainly did. And seeing Curry in that 30 jersey, as an old school fan,
that was pretty dope, right?
Remember when you was kids, you go to the court and everyone picked the Charlotte Hornet they was. Yeah, they're like, I'm Larry Johnson. I'm Lonzo Moore, right? Everybody, I wanted to be Del Curry because I knew I wasn't gonna be Alonzo Mourning and Larry Johnson. I was just
plus you light skinned.
I was a light skinned, skinny dude who could shoot. Del Curry was my guy. I had the Del Curry poster. So watching number 30 Curry come back and suit up was dope. Although Big Pat, I feel like you should have announced Curry first.
Right.
Because when Curry came into the game, there was like
7 people coming in the game at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
The Hornets had already been 2 or 3 trips down the floor before you mentioned Curry's name, and everyone was like, whereas Grant Williams got a damn standing ovation. It's like, that was a miss on
I mean, I guess I'll defend Big Pat, man, because he probably couldn't really. Well, then again, he's right by the scores table, so he had to see all those people checking into the game.
I think he was like, I'm gonna save the best for last, and I'm gonna. Give Steph Curry. Yeah.
Nope. You should have. Steph should have got the big ovation first, and then everybody else.
Right.
Worry about them later. Exactly.
Absolutely. But a really good homecoming for him and Grant Williams. It's just hard, man. Like it's hard not to be pleased. Like I was entertained watching last night as well.
Is that not all we want for the rest of the season? Seriously, we just want to watch functional basketball the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm not like the season's a wash, but if I can watch the Hornets be competitive and look like they give a damn, then Miles Bridges said something very interesting in the interview.
Yeah, I chuckled at that. Yeah,
he said, we're happy for our guys that got traded because they got in better situations, but I feel like we got better too.
And he gave a little wink at the end.
Yeah. But he's right. Clearly, our buddy Chris Galloway said it perfectly in the Hornets group. The Hornets would have lost that game last week.
They would have. Absolutely. No doubt about it.
With Nathan Mensah and Leaky Black and JT Thor out there.
And not only would they have lost, but they would have lost. It would have been predictable the way that they lost too.
Absolutely.
That third quarter would have came around, and the starters are gassed, and then Steve has to pull the starters out, and then that bench has to come in, man, and they just wouldn't have enough. It's that simple.
I mean, it's okay. Fans feel happy about this win, but I think that most rational fans will put this win in the proper context. Yes, we know it was against the Memphis Grizzlies, but again, this is a game the Hornets would have lost last week. And what we saw, how can you not get excited about Vasily Micic? It is really his first. I know it wasn't his first NBA. This is his first NBA game with significant minutes. The guy came in, put up career highs, and played better than anyone on the other team and half the people on our team.
Let's go back in time for a bit, shall we? Back over the summer, man, me and you were very worried about whether they were going to re-sign Dennis Smith Jr. or not, right? Remember that was a big concern of ours.
Yeah, we were stressing that, yeah.
And then when he went to Brooklyn, we were kind of like, okay, what now? And it was kind of a pipe dream to kind of maybe go after John Wall. And we mentioned some other veterans, man. And then when they settled on, and I do say settle, when they settled on Ish Smith, it was just kind of like, okay, cool, man, but not good enough, at least not for me. You understand what I'm saying? And let me I can't stress this enough, man. This is no shade on Ishmael. I know I'm mentioning him a lot, and I know it seems like I'm talking junk about the man, but let me repeat. That man was retired for a reason. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? There was a reason that man said, I am done with basketball. Okay?
If he wasn't from the area, he wouldn't come back.
That's what I'm saying, man. So with that being said, it was a total desperation move. We don't have another point guard on this roster. This is who we have to go with. Frank Ntilikina broke his leg, and after that happened, man, now we got to go for Ish Smith. With that being said, Milicic is a clear. I don't care if it's one game or not. It is completely clear he's an upgrade over anything we've had at backup point guard this season. It's way too clear, man.
Yeah, easy.
He can do everything that Ish Smith can do, but better, and he can also shoot the ball. It's as simple as that.
Toby, we're going to get to your question in a minute because I think that's a great question. But I do want to talk about something that was going to segue into that. So James Bouknight got waived. And just free and clear, they just waived him. Something that we predicted would probably happen, right?
Yep. I was holding out hope we could at least get somebody and some second round picks, but whatever, no big deal.
There's a lot of guys who got to turn in them playbooks. And I made a joke about it in the game thread, but I really did feel bad seeing Nick Smith Jr. not come in the game.
Same.
Because he had been playing fairly well,
But he did hit a wall this last week or two. I'll say that.
And watching, it's got to be tough for him to sit on the end of the bench and watch these new guys come in and steal your job, just like
that overnight, right?
Yeah. So now we got a log jam, and as much as I love Cody Martin, I don't want to see him run the point no more. That's okay.
I don't want to see him try to make plays anymore.
Right? Yeah. Be a 3-and-D guy. Yep. That's you. So. Now you got Micic and Trey Mann, who essentially are your backup point guards.
And they may play together.
Now, this does allow a guy like Nick Smith Jr. to play the two more naturally, like in a backup role. And so there may still be room for him, but he's going to have to be behind Cody Martin.
Yeah.
So my question is, man, what does this mean for, and I'm not talking about the guys. So here are the guys who turn in playbooks. JT Thor, turn it in. Nathan Mensah, turn it in. Bailey, who you just on
G League.
Yeah. Turn that joint in. McGowan's, you can keep it, but
you on a tightrope.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
And then there's Nick Smith Jr., who we're not going to tell him to turn his playbook in. Obviously he's just a rookie, but that's a lot. I mean, we got McGowan's and Nick Smith Jr. at guard, and then Micic, Trey Mann, Seth Curry, LaMelo Ball, and then Cody Martin, who can play the 3 or the 2. Somebody got to turn in that playbook.
And not only that, but somebody's not going to be here going into the next season. And, we'll have a ton of more time to talk about the offseason. Obviously, we're not even in April yet. But it's funny, Kaza, man, because we have discussed the logjam at the two, like, for I don't know how long now.
Years.
And it seems like the logjam got thicker after the trade. You understand what I'm saying? Even with releasing book night, it was like, man, we still got this big logjam
but I think
at 1 and 2.
The difference is that before there wasn't a big separation of talent,
right?
In all of those guys, right? You could like interchange Bryce McGowan, Nick Smith Jr., and James Bouknight. It was like they were essentially the same player, but Mitchell shakes things up. He's clearly better than all of those guys.
Trey Mann shakes things up.
Trey Mann is in the mix too. So now, okay, Mitchell, he's gonna be our backup point guard moving forward. So now, where does that leave everyone? Who knows? We keep forgetting about Steph Curry. We got Steph Curry.
And then I echo what you said about Nick Smith, man, because Clifford has been raving about Nick Smith Jr. like all season, like his work ethic, how he's worked to get in the rotation, and he's given us a lot of good moments this season. Even though, like I said, he did hit like that rookie wall the last couple of weeks, but we've seen enough good things from Nick Smith Jr. to know that he's capable of being a good player. But at the same time, with this trade, man, and looking at what we saw last night. Just like, I don't know where he fits, at least for the rest of this season, man. So that story, honestly, is going to have to be told in the offseason, quite honestly, man.
Yeah, absolutely. How would you feel about starting Mitchell?
For now, it's tough to say, man, because we're talking about a one-game audition. You understand what I'm saying? As excited as we are and as different as it looks already, it is one game. He clearly outplayed Trey Mann. right? We can agree with that, right? So it's tough to say, man. And the thing is, I can look at Trey Mann for that one game, and I can tell you, there's some potential there too, man. Trey Mann looked like he can play. Statistically, he didn't have a great game last night, but you can tell there's something there with Trey Mann as well. And I do think Trey Mann is a better defensive player than Middleton is. We know Clifford values defense. You understand what I'm saying? That's a tough question to ask. For right now, I say stick with what already has worked.
So we don't know when LaMelo is going to be back, if ever, although I would like to see him back because I do feel like he needs to play with these guys, right? Yep. That's a whole other conversation about LaMelo Ball's health.
Right.
So Mitchell he's going to get a lot of auditions. And by the end of the season...
Kaza, let me interrupt you real quick because something just popped up in my head. I was thinking about this last night. I hope LaMelo Ball was sitting on the bench last night looking at Milicic and be like, I can learn something from this dude.
Oh, no, he wasn't thinking that.
I can learn. I know. For argument's sake, I hope he was looking at him like, you know what, man, that dude really knows how to play the game. Yeah, maybe I can learn something from this guy.
Or at the very least, I'll give LaMelo this. He's a competitor. He might not be as fiery as like Brandon Miller.
But he wants to win. He does.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I think he's going to come back. And he's going to know that, okay, this guy right here, he can run the offense really well. And in my absence, the team is still going. So I got to make sure that my impact.
I do the same thing when I come back.
Exactly. Right. Mitchell is going to get a lot of playing time with LaMelo gone. When LaMelo comes back, it would not surprise me to see him inserted into the starting rotation. Now, if that moves forward next season, that's one thing. And really though, I'm curious as to where Steph Curry falls in all this. Steph Curry's a veteran. He's 33, which I didn't realize he was that old. But he's 33, right. And he's not as good as his brother, obviously, right? He's not even as good as a shooter, but he's a really, really good shooter. Mm-hmm. He's like an elite NBA shooter, right? Yeah. You can just stick him in the corner
You have to worry about him. He's somebody you have to worry about on defense.
Exactly. And he actually plays defense really well as well. So, I don't know. This logjam at guard is going to be very interesting when LaMelo Ball comes back.
Yeah, but like I'm saying, man, we'll have to wait on that story to be told in the offseason because everybody can't stay. You just can't. You can't continue to have everybody on the roster, man. So somebody's going to have to eventually not be on the team anymore, man.
So, great question. Is this Ball's team? If so, can we rank our top three? Is Bridges, Miller, or Ball 1, Bridges 2, Miller 3? If so, for how
long? Here's my thing. I'm not going to answer this question directly, and I know that's going to be aggravating. But let me answer the question the best way I know how. If I am the coach of the Hornets next season, right? I don't know if I worry about that too much. And let me tell you where I'm going with this. LaMelo Ball, to me, is obviously the most talented person on this team. You can make an argument with Brandon Miller, but I still give the edge to LaMelo Ball as far as just the talent, okay? I think Brandon Miller is probably the total package. I think he is going to eventually be the leader of this team. Now, Miles Bridges is the most tenured out of this group, right? So he's the quote unquote adult out of those three. You understand what I'm saying? If I'm this coach of the Hornets, I just want them to play the game the right way and not quote unquote worry about who the leader is. And the reason why I'm saying this is because Miles Bridges probably thought, I'm the leader of this team last week. You know what it resulted in? It resulted in a bunch of bad shots, and it resulted in a bunch of bad basketball. Because to me, he got too caught up in, I'm the guy. I should be taking the shots in the fourth quarter. And when you get too caught up in that, you don't play the right way. You understand what I'm saying? Focus on playing the right way. Eventually, whoever the guy is, they're gonna show themselves. Like it'll be like cream that rises to the top. Eventually, that will work itself out at some point.
I think the longer LaMelo doesn't play, the less and less that it's his team.
And are you going to go with Brandon in that aspect?
Actually, I'm going to go with Miles Bridges.
Okay.
Because Miles Bridges, longest tenure guy, if you notice, he's the most vocal. I think Brandon Miller has the most dog in him. Mm-hmm. But last night, there were times where I saw Miles Bridges take it upon himself to talk to other players and be like, hey, what are you doing? You need to be doing this. You need to be doing that.
And is it not ironic that everything that's happened with Miles Bridges in the offseason, like now we're seeing him as maybe the vocal leader now? Like,
I think he wants to stay. And I think if the Hornets make a right offer, he'll stay.
Yeah, right.
It's got to be the right offer, though. And I think he like the interview that he get. As much as I love LaMelo Ball, and people think I don't because I'm always critical of LaMelo Ball because of his health. But LaMelo Ball does not give good interviews. His interviews are always very nonchalant,
and quite frankly, unprofessional. Quite honestly,
yeah, like yo, shit, what we do, shit. We just trying to get this
shit. I'm eating turkey, man. When he's in this motherfucking man, shit. Like, come on, dog.
The interview that Miles Bridges gave yesterday, where he talked about the energy, it was clear to him getting the win was important, but he saw the difference in the Hornets team last week. And like we talked about earlier, that comment he made about we feel like we got better too.
Yeah.
It's Miles Bridges' team. It really is. And mainly that's because LaMelo Ball's not playing. So who's holding the shit together while the best player on the team is gone? Miles Bridges. Doubt. And I think Brandon Miller loves that because Miles Bridges is the kind of personality that he is. He's gravitating more to him. I see a chemistry between Miles Bridges and Brandon Miller when they're on the court together because they know, okay, LaMelo's not here. We're the best guys. We're gonna hold this down. And
one more thing to add to your point, man. I just spoke about like bad basketball. And I did not see that from Miles Bridges last
No.
night, which is a very encouraging sign.
Yeah.
There were no bad shots. There were no bad turnovers in the fourth quarter. Miles Bridges just made the right plays last night. And ultimately, if you want to be the quote-unquote leader, that's what needs to happen every night, man. Play the game the right way.
Right way.
Yeah.
You cannot trade LaMelo Ball.
Nah, man. No. I don't care how much crap we talk about LaMelo Ball. That would be malpractice to trade LaMelo Ball, bro.
You cannot trade LaMelo Ball ever.
No.
So
on any level.
Yep. So there's that.
It's a bad PR move. It's a bad basketball move.
There isn't a player in the league that I would trade. And there are a lot of players that are better than LaMelo Ball, but I would not, because LaMelo's young. He's got clear superstar potential. You trade him to, like, let's say you traded him for like John Morant, just a 2K fantasy trade. And then LaMelo Ball goes somewhere and is a superstar. Man, the Hornets, man, they'll find a way to blame Michael Jordan for that too. Man, Michael Jordan, man, he probably told the owners, because, you know, the new owners, they haven't made any mistakes yet, you know. So, yeah, you don't trade LaMelo. In fact, I mean, you got a potential big three right there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we've got good pieces. Hopefully Mark Williams is healthy. You know, and these guys coming off our bench continue to produce like a regular NBA bench. I think the Hornets are in a real good spot. And, you know, it is what it is.
So, Kaza, there is one more thing I would like the Hornets to do this season. Just one more very small thing. And I'm talking, when I say thing, I mean a transactional move. There's still a roster spot available. Kyle Lowry, to no one's surprise, got bought out last night. He's headed to Philadelphia. So that opens up a roster spot on this team. I think you know where I'm going with this, man. Nathan Mensah, I'm sure you're a great guy. I'm sure you're of high character.
Yeah.
But I don't want to see him on the basketball court anymore.
Never.
So I need the Hornets to go out and just go get a center, a real center,
Absolutely.
A professional adult.
Yep.
I don't need him to be a former All-Star, nothing like that. I just need him to be an adult. And there's a couple out there. Matter of fact, I actually thought that they would pick up the phone and try to sign Biz again. Bismack actually just signed with somebody else last night. I forget the team, but
Bismack stay getting jobs.
He stayed getting jobs. You know, much crap as we talked about him, he stay in the league.
Yeah.
Been in the league. But the point is, I do want them to go out and try to get a veteran center, man. I don't have a name, but yeah.
There's too much of a fall off when Nick Richards is out of the game.
And I don't want to see Grant Williams at center.
Right.
Ever.
And Richards himself he's a solid NBA backup, you know, and I hope he stays with the Hornets for a while, but like, he's not like the guy, you know. I think if you had a good rotation with Nick Richards, and I would like personally a natural 7-footer, or at least a 6'10" guy. It could be anyone. Yeah. It could be Andre Drummond. For all I care, it's got to be somebody. I don't want to see.
Well, no. Listen, I'm not talking about the off season and free agency. I'm talking about
right now. Season. Okay, right now.
Yeah. I'm talking about somebody like Nerlens Noel, who's on the couch right now. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. What's Plumlee doing?
He's with the Clippers.
Oh, he's still with the Clippers? Okay.
Yeah, he's still with the Clippers. Yeah, well, I mean, we could call up his brother. I'm sure his brother ain't doing nothing.
Nah, that's all right. No, we good. Who do we need more, Ball or Mark Williams? Right now.
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams.
I say Mark Williams right now.
Yeah. We need a center badly. And Mark Williams he's better than Nick Richards. He just is, right? So we're missing him there. I don't know Jackson would have had a good game regardless, but I don't know if he has quite the ease that he had last night if Mark Williams is there under the basket.
I was kind of wanting Clifford to put Grant Williams on Jaren Jackson a little more, but I understand why he couldn't, because you have to you have to manage those minutes, man, because you don't want JT
Right.
Thor out there. So you gotta put Grant Williams on the floor when Miles Bridges ain't on the floor. You understand what I'm saying? So that even speaks more to the lack of depth on the front court, which is why we need a center even that much more worse, man.
I think Cousins is in China or the Philippines. Speaking of Philippines, Dwight Howard. What are you doing, Dwight Howard?
What are you doing? Other than being in the news for the wrong reasons, which I won't get into, but
hey, if he can come and get like 8 rebounds a game,
sign him up.
We know that's Mitch's guy too. Mitch loves some Dwight Howard. So
right. And in all seriousness, in the next week, that's something I will look out for as a Hornets fan. They're not going to waste that roster spot, man, and they do need a center. So I will look out for that.
Yeah, please don't, Clifford. Please don't play Grant Williams at center. He may have to tomorrow, but
outside of that, I don't want to see it, man. I don't.
Let's see. The Hornets schedule is not favorable.
Is it ever?
The high from last night is about to come crashing down. We're playing Indiana tomorrow, Atlanta Wednesday, Utah Thursday, Golden State Friday, and then Portland Sunday.
Ouch.
None of those are winnable games.
I think we can get Atlanta. I think we could get Atlanta. I do.
Well, Trae Young always shits the bed against us for some reason.
Yeah, we've already beaten them one time this year.
Also a sub 500 team. That is the true test for this new Hornets squad. Not Indiana or Utah or Atlanta. A team that is barely under 500.
Right.
Do these moves make us a barely under 500 team?
At least that. Right. Does it make us at least that team? I agree. Right.
Yep. Also, Golden State is not playing well.
They did beat Phoenix last night.
But see, that's the thing about Golden State. They're good for a game like that, and then they're not.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much Steph Curry and a bunch of guys now.
Pretty much.
So that's
I think Kuminga's playing pretty well, man. But outside of that, I agree.
I'm saying that's why I'm telling Mitch. Oh, I'm sorry, the owner. I'm sorry, Mitch doesn't.
But we don't have a GM. Yeah,
we got like 4 first-round draft picks. Go get Steph Curry.
Here we go.
Go get Steph Curry. Because see, you already. So here's the thing. You already have your core.
We already got Seth.
Right.
You got his brother here.
Yeah. If you re-sign Miles, which it looks like the Hornets are going to try and do. So you already got LaMelo Ball, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and Mark Williams. Who are you going to draft this year? There's no like game-changing centers. There's a few really good wing players, but you've already got your
Kaza, which is why I have never said this about the Hornets in my life. You've known me a long time, and I've never said this about the Hornets. I am confident. I will bet all the money I have the Charlotte Hornets will get the first pick this year. You know why?
Because ain't nobody right.
Because there are no game changers in this draft.
They get the first pick. Yep. They need to trade it. Trade that pick because think about the difference. And I'm not even saying Steph Curry, although I think Golden State would move him. Steph Curry's at the downside of his career. They need capital to rebuild.
They need to plan for the future.
Why not send Steph Curry back to his hometown for final hurrah? He can play with his brother in front of his dad, but I digress. But let's say it's not Steph Curry. 4 first-round draft picks could almost get you almost anybody that you wanted within reason, right? Let's say you add Lauri Markkanen, right? Who is
I'm not trading 4 first-round draft picks.
I'm not trading 4 first-round draft picks from Lauri Markkanen, but you've got enough capital to go get a Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
He makes a difference. You add him, you slot him in with the rest of this team, with the rest of our potential starting 5. You got a playoff team. You got a team that might make it to the second round. You could go get somebody rather than I think the Hornets we are past draft guys, develop them. Okay? We hit on Brandon Miller. We hit on LaMelo Ball. We hit on Miles Bridges. We hit on Mark Williams.
Right.
Okay? We probably hit on Naismith Jr. We got the EuroLeague MVP. We got Grant Williams as a vet. And then we got a young Trey Man who looks hungry. That's a pretty good core. Now you add another star talent. And I think the Hornets are on their way. We don't have the timeline to just be drafting dudes. All right, here come another guy we got to develop again.
And let me throw a little curveball at you too, Kaza. Here's something a lot of people don't realize. Davis Bertans' contract is pretty big. It's a pretty hefty contract, and but it's also movable. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So if you can throw that out there to match some money around, you can make some big moves this offseason, man. Again, I don't want to jump too ahead because we will have plenty of time to talk the offseason, but the Hornets are going to have some pretty good flexibility to make some moves this offseason. So we'll see, man.
I agree with this. Let's get the Nassas Atomic Coupo.
Please. Who said that? Who said that?
Joshua.
I don't want the Nassas anywhere near this city.
Stranger things have happened. Could you just, I might load up 2K and make it happen. Could you imagine this team with Giannis?
Oh, by the way, I know we're not doing shout outs or shout outs yet, but happy trails to JT Thor because you got crossed up by the Nassas Antetokounmpo. Just retire.
Not just crossed up, but a sham guy too. Like NBA Street Volume 2. By one of the worst players in the league. JT.
You got sunned by the Nassas Antetokounmpo.
I would have immediately been like, playbook. Give me that.
I would have called Minch from the bench. Like, hey, man, I don't know what you got going on for JT, but nah, bro, we good, man.
All right. My predictions for next week. I do think we might get Portland, but Portland will be after we go on air next week if we go on air. So the next 4 games, I'm going to say we lose to Indiana. You know what? Fuck it. We get Atlanta and we get Golden State at Golden State.
I'm going 1-3. I'm saying Atlanta's the only one we get.
All right. Fair enough.
Yep.
All right. So there is a sporting event going on today that you may have heard about.
That the Carolina Panthers are not a part of.
So I have a confession to make.
What's up?
I've only watched 3 Super Bowls in the last 20 years.
Come on, man. 2004,
Panthers Patriots. 2016, Panthers Broncos. And then 28-3. And the only reason I watched that one is because my mom, for some reason, is a Tom Brady fan. So she was like, hey, can I come over to your house and watch the Patriots win the Super Bowl? And I was like, yeah, whatever. And I wasn't even really watching the game. I was doing other shit, and 28-3 happened. So I'm not a big. I just don't watch the Super Bowl because the Panthers aren't playing, so I don't give a shit. But having said that, we have a rooting interest in today's game, as I think most people from the Carolinas do. And I've said this on this show before, that when the San Francisco 49ers win the Super Bowl, and Christian McCaffrey and Steve Wilkes hold up that Lombardi.
Charlotte, we did it.
Yeah. I'm going to put that. That's going to be the under construction front page for only about a day or two. But I'm going to put that up there. Because David Tepper, that's like, you know what I'm saying? That's like when you break up with a girl and then the glow up happens.
Yeah.
Like, damn, bro.
No. That's like when the girl breaks up with a toxic dude who says, you ain't gonna find nobody better than me. And then the dude is like 6'5" and got muscles, goddamn, and makes $1 million a year. Yeah.
Drives 3 Porsches. Yeah, that's
right.
That's this. So I need David Tepper to throw his drink when he sees
on himself.
Yeah, CMC and Steve Wilkes and Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold too. Go ahead, get in the picture,
bro.
Too.
Yeah. Cheesing. Go ahead, hold the trophy with. Yeah.
Like, we did it. Remember when we was in Carolina? I need that to happen today. But Patrick Mahomes is a very, very good professional football player.
He's pretty good, man. He's pretty good.
He's really good.
You know what else is pretty good? That Kansas City Chiefs defense is pretty damn good, too, man.
Oh, they also
and that damn Andy Reid is a pretty good coach too, man.
Of all time.
Yep,
he's good too.
Yep.
So,
hey man, I told you about a week ago, man. I am rooting for the 49ers to win, but I cannot bet my money against the Kansas City Chiefs today. Can't do it, bro.
I want to be clear. The Swagner brings up a good point. Bosa trash. Fuck that guy. And
no doubt. No doubt.
And Brock Purdy. I'm not rooting against Brock Purdy. I want to be clear about Brock Purdy because I got a lot of shit last week or the week before when Brock Purdy stunk it up in the first half against the Lions. And I just posted a picture of Cam Newton. And then, the 49ers pulled off comeback. So a lot of people were coming at me for that. Here's the thing. The reason, you know why 49ers fans are mad about what Cam Newton said about Brock Purdy?
Because it was true.
Because it was true. They knew he was right. He is the 10th best person and Nick Wright, who is the most wrong person ever, though, he actually agreed with Cam Newton. He was like, yeah, Brock Purdy's the 10th best in there. But see, there's nothing wrong with that. Cam Newton never said, man, Brock Purdy trash. He just said, hey, he's a game manager because he has all these weapons. And let's be clear. The reason the 49ers came back against the Lions was not because of Brock Purdy, who almost threw a game-losing interception that slipped through the defender's fingers. It was because you had this dude who might be one of the greatest running backs ever play the game when all is said and done, depending on how his health holds up, Christian McCaffrey. Oh, by the way, you got Deebo Samuel. Oh, you also have George Kittle. You have that guy.
Yeah. Not bad.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all.
So I'm just saying, I'm not hating on Brock Purdy. I just feel like, and then, to be fair, I don't watch the 49ers every week. So all my fans who are 49ers fans, I'm like, well, didn't Jimmy G get y'all to a Super Bowl literally 4 years ago?
Right.
Right. And
another game manager.
Yeah. Clearly. No, Jimmy G wouldn't have performed as well with this. Really? And then I have to remind them that the last time Sam Darnold and Christian McCaffrey played together before they went to San Francisco, what was the Panthers' record at the beginning of the season?
3-0, sir.
Yeah, 4-0.
4-0. Sorry,
yeah,
4-0.
4-0. Who statistically was the best quarterback in the league?
Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold was.
Yep.
Then what happened?
So what you're saying is that Christian McCaffrey guy kind of makes a difference. Is that what you're saying?
I don't understand. 49ers fans are just kind of like, yeah, McCaffrey's good, but no.
No.
He's Offensive Player of the Year this year.
No, I'm going to tell you what Christian McCaffrey is. Christian McCaffrey is a guy that some dude with a YouTube show told his 3 friends, you don't ever trade a guy like that. That's what Christian McCaffrey is. There was some guy who had a YouTube show with his 3 friends, and he told one of his friends, you don't trade a guy. He called him the white Marshall Faulk. He said, you don't trade a guy like that. There are some players in sports you don't trade. I wonder what that guy's doing now.
Yeah. So, having said that, though, I mean, the Chiefs, and I think the AFC has been a little tougher than the NFC this season. I think the Chiefs are more than ready for it, and it wouldn't
more battle tested. Yeah,
I might actually watch this game. I got some nerd shit to do later though, so I don't know.
But real quickly, man, I do think the Chiefs are more battle tested, man. I don't think it's no slouch beating the Bills and the Ravens on the road. You know what I mean? And like they say, man, the defense always carries. As good as Mahomes is, and I'm not taking nothing away from that dude. He may be one of the best of all time when it's all said and done. But I think the reason the Chiefs are just hard to beat is that defense right now, man. They're playing lights out, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Final predict. Do you want to make a prediction? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'll make a prediction, man. I'm going to say the Chiefs win. I think it's a tight game. I got the Chiefs winning 27-24.
Oh, man. I'm gonna roll with you on that one. 27-24 Chiefs. I think it's gonna be a really good game. It's gonna come down. I will say this though. If Brock Purdy struggled against the Detroit Lions defense,
what is he going to do against the Chiefs defense, bro?
he's going to have trouble with that Chiefs defense. So,
absolutely. Yeah.
But I do want to see McCaffrey and Steve Wilkes.
Yeah. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope the 49ers get it, man. But I think it'll be hard for them today, honestly.
Okay, before we go, Carolina Panthers football stuff to talk about. Not so much on-field stuff, but my allergies. I must be allergic to the Panthers for some reason. Because we're gonna get to that in a minute. Ty. But Dave Canales has really won me over already. He hasn't even coached a game as a Carolina Panther.
That's a step up from the last guy.
Right. But his demeanor so far, he is all in on being the coach of the Panthers. Like, he's like keep pounding. He like tweet, keep pounding. The guy probably has some stupid flags on his car that you always see Cowboys fans driving with. Like, I mean,
right. But he can't be a Cowboys fan because his tags are probably not expired. But yeah, I get it.
But Dave Canales, and so there was a joke made at the NFL awards ceremony, a very funny joke by Michael Key from Key and Peele. Keegan Michael Key. He made the joke. I'm paraphrasing here, but something to the fact of, he said Taylor Swift is in Tokyo right now. The only people further from the Super Bowl are the Carolina Panthers. Now that's a funny joke. That's a really good joke. Yeah. But I guess Dave Canales just on Twitter simply made he just responded with a bookmark emoji. Like, okay, we keeping these receipts, right?
Right.
Like I like that. I like
Same.
That confrontational. Like, okay,
I like the fire. Right. We ain't about to be y'all the laughing stock. Yeah.
Exactly. So, and he's come out and apparently he's like high praise for Bryce Young. He's not. I like the fact that he's committed to Bryce Young. He's not like, we're going to have a competition for the quarterback. Remember when Matt Rule came and we didn't know who the fuck the quarterback was going to be and whatnot. And then Frank Reich felt like he was just kind of resigned to the fact that Bryce Young was his quarterback, Right. Dave Canales is like, Bryce is the guy. And I'm going to show y'all why. Yep. So I'm like, hey,
we're going to do everything to make him better. Yeah.
All right. Hey, do your thing, bro. Yeah, good question. Is he all in because of that 6-year deal? I would be. Shoot. I like, he knows, like, but, hey, man, it took Jay-Z 7.
Oh, God. Hey, man, but in all seriousness, man, it's an encouraging sign, and I'm gonna give you this vantage point, man. From the impression I get is that him and Dan Morgan are on the same page. And what do we say about Dan Morgan? Dan Morgan, he is a Carolina Panther through and through. Yeah. The Carolina Panthers flow through Dan Morgan's blood. You understand what I'm saying? And I think some of that is rubbing off on Canales. Like, these guys want to be all about Carolina Panthers, and they want. I think they want the team to take on their intense personalities, man. And I'm all with it. I'm with it, man.
And this makes me think that Dan Morgan had a lot to do with the hire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And plus, this is the biggest thing about all of that. I think one of the biggest things the Panthers lacked in the last 5-6 seasons is culture and identity. Like, we'd always say what's the identity of the Carolina Panthers?
Right.
Nobody knew. But Dan Morgan knows what the identity of the Panthers is, right? So Steve Wilkes knew what the identity of the Panthers are because they're the Panthers guys. So now you got a guy who is like, I think he knows what the identity of the Panthers should be. And he's going to get us back to that. Or at least he's going to try. So yeah. I'm all in on Dave Canales. Now, if he's trash, he's trash. He is. I'm in, but
you gotta like the impression we're getting so far.
Absolutely. Yeah. Also, Panthers news. Congratulations to one of the greatest Panthers players of all time.
Well deserved, my man.
Maybe top 3. He's like on my number. He's my number 2. But Julius Peppers, the only man to ever play in the NCAA Final Four and the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He was a pretty good basketball player for the Tar Heels. Imagine that. You on a basketball scholarship for the Tar Heels in 2 sports? That's how good Julius Peppers
and
was.
Then he became a Hall of Famer.
Yes, as an athlete, and to make the Hall of Fame first ballot and represent the Carolina Panthers in doing so, man, I tell you that's incredible.
Overdue, man. Congratulations, Julius Peppers. And Julius Peppers, on behalf of all Panthers fans, I apologize for talking all that junk about you when you went to the Packers, man. But
when you went to the Packers and the Bears, but he came back.
But he came back.
We almost got him a chip. No, your favorite Peppers moment?
Favorite Peppers moment, man. There was a play where he dropped back in the flat and intercepted that dude with one hand. I was like, this dude is on another level, man. That's probably my favorite Pep moment.
My favorite Peppers moment is, I'm pretty sure I'm correct on this, but it was against the Dallas Cowboys in 2004. He intercepted Aaron Carter to essentially seal the game. Yeah, that same kind of play. The Panthers used to run that, and that's
Quincy Carter, right?
Quincy Carter, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how good Peppers was. You could drop him back as a line, and the Panthers didn't play a 3-4. They played a 4-3, and you could still drop him. You could line him up as a 4-down lineman, and then drop him back, and the quarterback, would have to make that read. And a lot of times they picked wrong. Julius Peppers has 4 interceptions in his career as a defensive end, which is absolutely incredible. But that was against Dallas, I remember, because that was essentially that sealed the game. So congratulations to him. Pep did run down Vic. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was an amazing thing to be able to run down.
Man, those Panthers and Falcons wars back when Vic was playing, man.
They won most of those. That's why I try not to think about them. I still remember. I call it the Superman game, where Mike Vick stretched out for the touchdown.
Yeah.
And they had to. It was like right when replays had come into play, and I mean, his knee was right above the blade of grass.
I was in Atlanta watching that game. I distinctly remember that. Yep.
So now Luke Kuechly is eligible for the Hall of Fame next season. A lot of people don't think he should be in first ballot.
And I'm telling those people, get the fuck out. Excuse my language, get all the way the hell out of here. There ain't no way. Please. I want to see the people who get in before Luke Kuechly does. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a lot of people say he didn't play long enough, and I say
stop it.
To that, I say he didn't have to. He didn't have to. Like, he played 8 seasons, and he was the best linebacker in the league.
And it wasn't
every season he played, except for his rookie season, and even then, you could have made the argument.
During his era, man, it was him and Patrick Willis, and to me, there was a pretty good separation between him and Patrick Willis.
Yeah, that's absolutely. It. Yeah, yep. I don't. Yeah, I mean, there was Bobby Wagner and Levante David were the only those 4 linebackers, dominated the 2010s, and Luke was the best of all of them.
Clearly,
to me, that's all you need for Luke Kuechly. But the NFL Hall of Fame it's absolutely ridiculous.
Whatever. If Luke Kuechly played for the Cowboys, it wouldn't be any problem putting him in first ballot. So
thank you, Chris. If Patrick Willis is the first ballot, so is Kuechly, and yes, Jamal, they did play the same number of seasons. So, but see, it's the Carolina Panthers effect. Patrick Willis played for the 49ers, so he's gonna get those accolades before Luke Kuechly played for Carolina. We'll see.
Right.
I think he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. We'll be pushing for that. Cam will be on the ballot pretty soon. That's a big topic of debate.
Yeah.
I think Cam should be in the Hall of Fame. Barely, not first ballot.
I don't think he'll get in first ballot. Yeah,
but he won't. I don't think he'll ever get in. I just don't think he'll ever get in.
Which is a shame, man, because I think some of that is going to be just because how he triggers people and how he roasts people the wrong way. I truly believe some of that will come into play. You understand what I'm saying? But I think another is that he probably just didn't have enough big seasons, so to speak.
If he had won the Super Bowl, he would have been in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
But
right.
And the NFL needs to fix the wide receiver Hall of Fame problem because Steve Smith.
Yeah, if Terrell Owens ain't getting in first ballot, who the hell is getting in first ballot? Exactly. I mean, come on, man.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, good. Yeah. If Matt Ryan or Phillip Rivers ever get in, Cam should.
Yeah, I totally agree.
You see Cam Warren Sapp. I do think it's funny how Warren Sapp changed his tune when Cam Newton is sitting in front of you. It's different.
Ask Kelvin Benjamin.
Yes, Kelvin. Yeah. When Cam walked across the field, Kelvin Benjamin suddenly he didn't have nothing to say.
He wasn't too tough then.
He wasn't too tough. Charleston White, the most hood dude ever in history, had to back down when Cam Newton was like, "Hey, man, no, I don't agree with that. No, you're right, Cam." So, Warren Sapp comes on Cam Newton's show, and Cam Newton is he got a lot of flack this past week because he made the comment that, "Hey, I'm no longer a football player. I'm a YouTuber," and people were mad at him about that. Like,
but why? That's his choice. For what? Yeah, what are you really mad for?
They were mad at him because he wanted to be a football player and he wasn't. Now he's like resigned to the fact, okay, hey, I'm not a football player anymore. Now because he saw them YouTube checks and was like, hold up.
Wait, I ain't got to get hit no more?
Yeah, hold up. Yeah, this is easy. So,
wait, you mean I ain't got to depend on Ted again for success with doing this?
So, man, keep doing what you're doing, Cam. Keep living rent free in everybody's head. So,
right. Prime real estate, buddy.
Any shout outs?
Shout at our under construction fans and viewers and subscribers. We don't say thank y'all enough, man. Swagner, you are our guy. I appreciate the funny inboxes you send me on Twitter, man. Me and Swagner always talk on Twitter, man. And just shout out to all of y'all, man. Shout out to Tovi. Shout out to everybody. I can't name everybody. I think we got a couple of new people in here. Shout out to Alan Baker Johnson. Haven't seen you in a while, man. But shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to all of our under construction people, man. Y'all keep me and Kaza doing this thing, man. So shouts out to y'all.
The only reason I'm watching the Hornets and Panthers, although the Hornets have given me a reason to watch them now. We got some new players, so
I'm holding out hope for the Panthers next season, man. So I don't know why, bro.
Hey, Dave Canales he's the guy now. So so yeah. All right. Hey, that's all. That's it. Y'all have a great Super Bowl Sunday, man. And I still think the day after the Super Bowl should be a federal holiday.
Because God knows I do not want to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, man.
Everyone's absolutely worthless the day after the Super Bowl. But y'all be safe out there. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the commercials. Yes, getting crunk to Mobb Deep. By the way, big ups, shout out to the Charlotte Hornets DJ, who he always plays Mobb Deep Burn, which is my favorite Mobb Deep song of all time when the Hornets bring the ball up court.
The Hornets did get that one right. I don't know who that DJ is, but man, hey, good job, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, absolutely. Y'all keep buzzing. We'll talk to y'all next week. Happy Super Bowl Sunday. Peace.